Okay, so this is going to be our first of three UIC faculty. Dr. Sathya is going to join us for our conversation. I think Professor Sathya started as he started on last year. I can't I'm pretty sure, or maybe when I started, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. Um, and I really enjoyed talking with him. He is doing research in the area of computer vision, and particularly in the area of numerical optimization, which is mostly what he's going to be talking about with you in this video. Um, and yeah, I hope you enjoy hearing from Dr. Satya. I really enjoyed talking to him. And after Dr. Satya, we have two additional UIC uh, faculty who are going to tell us about their research.
Okay, so now we have Professor Satya to join us and tell us a little bit about applications of data structures that interest him in his research.
Hello, everyone. I do, so my name is Satya, and I am an assistant professor here. I joined about a year ago. My research area in general is optimization for computer vision and machine learning. So I work on how to do things faster in some sense at a very high level uh, in problems related to computer vision and machine learning and at a high under the umbrella of AI, if you would. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about or discuss today is a particular, data structure that you might have seen in passing in some sense, 2D arrays or matrices. So my research starts with giving special interpretations of these matrices and thereby how we can develop algorithms that can compute things faster using data structures that are developed in order to manipulate these matrices. So that's what I do. So one application that maybe will put things in more concretely is if you consider fingerprint verification or face verification on your computers or your phones. These phones, they don't have. So I mean, these days you can have GPUs that can process each and every photo, but about until 5 years ago, we still had phones that where you could still have an identification, but it would just be a little bit slow, or it would be running on a chip in the camera in your phone, so it wouldn't necessarily pass the data into your processing unit. So for those, what the main idea was that instead of storing these 2D arrays or matrices as raw pixel data that you would store, these would break up these photo into smaller discrete regions in the photo, and thereby saving memory. And hence, because you're using a sampled version or some special spatial segmentation, you can also compare images faster instead of going through each pixel in your image. And so the tools that we use in order to do this also are rely on tools from matrices and theory of matrices, or linear algebra, if you will, where we say that we break up these images or arrays into by passing them to a special device called wavelet transform, which is just a matrix multiplication onto the string matrix. So what we essentially do is do a matrix multiplication on top of the matrix that we do, and because there's a lot of structure in the matrix that we want to multiply, we take that into account into getting faster algorithms, and hence we had we still have. I mean, there are still cheap phones that do fingerprint recognition, for example. I think Moto has a lot of those phones which basically just use some form of what I just talked about.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And are there some classes or some resources people can find if they're interested in learning more?
Yeah, definitely. So I teach um, senior undergraduate class, CS 415. I think the next time I'll be teaching it will be next fall. But there, I spend about a month talking about some of these basics of how you should think of these matrices beyond just as these numbers presented as arrays. And that's basically how we transition from doing things very naively to doing things a little bit more smartly by avoiding some computation if we don't necessarily need it, and so on. So I spent that, and in that class we also talk about um, direct applications in computer vision and image processing, where, for example, we talk about how you can write a tracking a tracker, if you will, if you want to track a ball or something in your video, using just techniques from the class. So if you want to discuss more on this, I definitely would recommend checking out the course syllabus.
Is that called computer vision?
Yep, it's
Yeah.
computer vision 1. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks so much. Really appreciate you coming by and talking to us.
Yep. Thanks, Jen.
Yep. Yeah.